Good evening. Thank everybody for joining in for a quick match, a little scrimmage between the D1 Gales and the 16U AAA Junior Knights. Gorman in orange as the visitor, with the Knights in white. Gorman short, looks like one forward line for this matchup, with Colin Davis, Johnson, and Westwood out. Gorman squeezing in a scrimmage game before heading off for round one of the playoffs for the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. That game will take place this Saturday, I believe it's 3 p.m. Pacific time. Gorman will be taking on Orange Lutheran in the round one matchup. That'll be one game that weekend. Single game elimination. Those games, or that game, all games for the D1 league or division will be broadcast on CIH Media. The game will be recorded and uploaded live on this channel after. About a minute and a half for puck drop. We'll see you in a few minutes. All right, getting ready to kick off the first period, 17-minute periods. As we wait for the starting lineup. Starting lineup for Gorman, Godino, Fish, Creel, Baldy, and Larison. In net, Faircloth. Knights win the face-off. Send it down low. Faircloth sends it back around to Godino, trying to chip it out of reach of Fish. Baldy brings it out on the far side, comes loose in the neutral zone. Denied by Larison, puck up and into the netting. Puck comes down in favor of Gorman. Baldy chips it through. This comes out to Creel. Right around the net by Creel, fed back into the blue line. Baldy couldn't handle that one cleanly, and it pops out for an offsides. Fresh legs for Gorman. Neutral zone face-off, just outside Knights territory. Kerr, Jennings, Fitzy, Posner, and Trent. Puck comes out to Posner, sends it around the boards. Knights bring it back out on the far side, denied by Posner. Fed back around the boards by Jennings. Foot race out to the near corner. Knights try to bring it out on the near wall. They do. Posner chips it back to Trent. Trent through the neutral zone. Maintains possession, walks it in, dangles through, and poke checked off the stick. Knights bring it back the other way. Fitzy on the back check. Posner, lone defenseman shot. Loose out front, picked up by Kerr. Couldn't get out and cleared. And Faircloth comes up with a save. Gorman D-zone face-off. Tritton in for the puck drop. Comes out in favor of the Knights. Bonifazio on the press on the far side. Knights send it around the boards, down low. Bonifazio picks it up on the near corner. Looking to get the clear, fed through, comes out to the blue line, shot off the skate and goes wide. Rubino forces it out along the far side, fed back down low, denied by Rubino on the far wall. Luong goes to close it off. Knights pick it up back behind the net. Cycle back the other way, loose out front, poke checked off. And AJ Rubino picks it up with Bonifazio. And offsides. Neutral zone face-off. Fish wins it out to the far wall. Foot race the other direction. Larison gets a stick in there. Knights cycle back down low. Back behind the net. Knights feed it out to the far side, out to Godino. Godino sends it back across to Baldy. As Gorman looks to regroup. Chipped, kept in play by the Knights. Shot goes wide. Back out to the blue line, shot off the shoulder of Faircloth. Sent around the boards the other way by Larison. Baldy goes in with a hit on the far side. Picked up by Fish. Out to Creel, couldn't field it. And the Knights bring it out on the far side, chip it back down low. We'll need to tag up. As Fish regroups back behind the net. Pass out to Creel, chipped. And that will be no icing. Comes out to Larison. Larison sends it back down low. Boys will have to tag up. Fitzy and Kerr on the press. Misconnection on the near wall. Knights recover. Send off the boards. Back down low. Knights will have to tag up. Fitzy takes a hit, gives a hit actually. Comes out to Trent. Trent walks it in. Dangles through, drops it back to Kerr. Kerr looks to chip it down low. Comes out to Jennings, back behind the net. Fed through, loose out front, picked up by the Knights. Knights bring it down along the near side. Chip it through, not enough. That will be sent wide by Faircloth. Posner sends it around the far wall, out to Evan Davis. Knights center it up and cleared by Fitzy up into the netting. D-zone face-off for Gorman. Tritton in for the puck drop. Long, Evan Davis, Rubino, and Bonifazio. Knights able to clear the, Gorman able to clear the zone. Poke checked off by Evan Davis. Picked up by Tritton. Tritton takes a hit, feeds it back down low. Davis sends it around the boards. Rubino scoops it up along the far wall, chips it back down low, and cleared by the Knights. Rubino will wind up and opts to walk it in. Sent wide by the Knights. Fish gets a stick in there to break up the exit. And the Knights bring it in. Tritton forces him wide. Lost an edge. Tritton brings it out along the near corner, scooped up by the Knights. Knights get a shot. And score for the Knights, short side. Knights had possession coming out the face-off. Gorman picks it up, dangles through. Poke check by Larison, glove down by the Knights. Creel forces a pass out wide. Fish opts send it to the near wall. Larison there for Gorman, chips it up. Creel lets it pass through. Back out to Creel. Picked up by Godino. Godino dingles through. Poke checks down low. Godino gives a hit in the corner. Chipped off the boards. Glove down by Larison. Wired back the other way. And Gorman will have to tag up Knights. Set it across. Intercepted by Godino. Wired back the other way. Knights chip it off the near wall. Bring it out along the near side. Broken up by Jennings. Wired in, still in play. Baldy drops it back. Kerr's pass broken up. Larison chips it up, and that will be an icing. And we'll come on back in Gorman's D zone. Face-off coming up. Kerr in for the puck drop. Jennings, Fitzy, Posner, and Trent. Get back out to Trent. Trent's got room to work. Good middle, sends it out to Fitzy. Far side. Shot tied up, loose out front. Follow-up shot, goal! And Gorman ties it up. Fitzy with the shot. And Jennings finishes up the loose puck out front. 10:42 remaining in the first period. Evan Davis in at center. Bonifazio, Tritton. Puck comes out in favor of the Knights. Puck down low. Trent on the back check. Scooped up by the Knights. Loose out front. Evan Davis chips it across, clears into the neutral zone. Opportunity for the Knights. Shot. Goal. And the Knights take advantage of the stretch pass and are leading by 1 with 10:21 remaining in the first. Comes out to Godino. Godino sends it down low. Knights going to get there first, send it around the far side. Poke check the other way by Rubino in the far corner. Creel gives a huge hit behind the net. Pass broken up by Rubino. Knights lob it into Gorman's D zone. Gorman's clearing attempt denied. Comes out to Luong. Luong trying to pass it out to Creel. Bouncing puck comes out to Godino. Picked up by Creel. Comes out to Godino again and wired down low. Goaltender will pick it up behind the net. Stretch pass off the gloves of Godino. And the Knights bring it in, and we'll say a hand pass off Godino. Knights couldn't field it before Gorman. And this will come on back into Gorman's D zone. Jennings, Kerr, Fitzy, Baldy, and Larison. But comes on favor of the Knights. Poke checked off by Baldy. Baldy working in the corner. Support from Kerr. Puck clears. Pass broken up by Larison. Larison tries to feed it down the other way. Comes out. Makes his way to Jennings. Jennings walks it in the zone. Jennings off the goal. His previous shift. Battles through along the near wall. Comes out to Fitzy. Lost control. And Gorman will regroup at the blue line. Pass out to Baldy. Baldy has it poke checked off a stick. Huge hit by Baldy along the boards. Knights chip it down low. Larison Fields chips it up, glove down by the Knights, and another hand pass. We'll come on back into the neutral zone. And Gorman will change up the lines. Evan Davis in for the faceoff. Bonifazio, Tritton, Posner, and Trent. Knights win the faceoff. Back to the neutral zone. Wired around. Drop back the other way by Trent. Comes out of Tritton on the far wall. Chip back to Posner. Back out to Tritton. Couldn't clear. Fed back down low. Shot. Save. Faircloth. Loose out front. And cleared by Gorman. Not enough for an icing. Nope, it is. 8:02 remaining in the first period. Knights with a 2-1 lead. Shots on goal 7-1 in favor of the Knights. Face-off comes out in favor of the Knights. Picked up by Tritton. Tritton poke checks it. Brings it in the zone. 2-on-1. Shot. Looking for the left corner. Goes up and over. Poke checked and cleared by the Knights. Trent scoops it up at the blue line. Winds back. Chips out to Bonifazio. No icing. It's off stick. Stretch pass out along the near boards. Picked up by Rubino. Rubino chips it up. Fish couldn't field it. And the Knights bring it back the other way. Shot loose out front. And goal denied by Luong as Godino brings it out along the far side. Godino chips it in down low. Sent the other way by the goaltender. Rubino, Creel shovels it down in low. Fish gets there for Gorman, sends it off the boards. And the Knights clear out to Larison. Larison regroups. Back to Baldy. Godino, back down low. Goaltender comes out the field that one for the Knights. Puck in the near corner, picked up. And cleared by the Knights. Back out to the neutral zone. Baldy feeds it back out to the blue line. Creel chips it in, trying to get position on the puck. Battles through. Walks it up. Backhand pass, loops out front. And cleared by the Knights. Kept in by Baldy. Baldy brings it out along the far side. Back down low. Creel back up to Baldy. And the Knights chip it around Kerr. Larison in the far corner. Drops it back to Fitzy. Fitzy's got a lane on the far side as he rushes through. Shot short side. Scooped up at the goal line by the Knights. Larison breaks up the pass. And Jennings lifts the stick and comes out in favor of Trent. Jennings chips it down low. Sent around the boards. Out to Kerr. Kerr gives a hit. And puck up and out of play. 5:24 remaining in the first period. Gorman missing a full forward line coming into the scrimmage. Center and two wingers. Evan Davis in for the face-off, sends it around the boards, or the Knights do. Comes out to Trent, chips back down low. Tritton just out of reach. Off the glass, bouncing puck, kicked back up by Posner. Knights clear, 2-on-1 the other way, back checking Evan Davis. And offsides. Evan Davis in for the face-off. Knights pick it up, chip it off the boards, back down low. Scooped up by Trent and cleared. Bonifazio working along the near wall. To back it the other way, picked up by Posner. Shovels it back down low. Bonifazio working back behind the net. Knights feed it out, intercepted by Gorman. Fed around the boards, kept in by Fish. Wired back down low. Bonifazio on the far side forces a pass on the far wall. Scooped up by the Knights, walked in, no offsides this time. Shot wide of the net. Picked up by Rubino during a change. Rubino makes his own, walks it up, and lost control before getting the shot off, and they're going to call a penalty here. Hooking is the call. Two minutes on the board as Gorman goes on the power play. Power play, Fish, Godino, Creel, Jennings, and Trent. Puck comes out to Jennings. Jennings walks it up. Stick lift and cleared. Playing high school rules. As Trent brings it around. Trent has to regroup back in the neutral zone. Brings it through the neutral zone. Makes the Knights territory, cycles back, drops it out of reach of Fish. As Godino back checks, scoop it up. Godino brings it in the zone. Feeds it across, bouncing puck. No one there for Gorman. Out to Jennings. Jennings takes a hit along the boards. And the Knights bring it back the other way. Creel gives a hit and presses the Knights off the puck. Chipped in by Godino along the near wall. Loose puck. Wired around the boards. Kick back in play by Kerr. Knights pick it up at the blue line. Breakaway opportunity. Shot, pad save. Faircloth. Dino sends it out the far side. Larison picked up by Tritton. Makes the zone. Pressed off the puck. Cleared out to Baldy. Baldy maintains. Far side, Larison. Baldy near side. Couldn't handle that one. Head back down low. Out to Tritton. And back to full strength for the Knights. Kerr cycles it back the other way. Knights going to pick this one up. Nope, Fitzy gets their first tripping call. And Gorman will go back on the power play. As number 91 will head to the box. 2 minutes on the board. Fish wins it back to Trent. Back out to Fish. Shot stuffed and sent wide. Out to Godino on the far side. Sent around the boards. Back to Fish. Near corner. Jennings posted out front. Back up to the point. Trent sends it across to Godino. A little too much heat on that one. And the Knights try to clear. Kept in down low by Fish. Knights chipping up the boards. Trent maintains the zone. Feeds it out to Godino. Chipped across. Fish with a shot. Off the elbow and wide. And the net comes off. Minute 32 remaining in the Gorman power play. Puck loose at the feet. Jennings able to pick it up. Brings it out into the near corner. Drops back to Fish. Trent at the point. High in the slot, near corner. Fish shot. Off a body, goes wide. Sent through, kept in by Trent at the blue line. Shot, loose. Jennings shovels, and the goaltender able to swallow that one up. About a minute 2 remaining in the Gorman power play. Tritton, Kerr, Fitzy, Larson, and Baldy. Kerr in for the face-off. Comes out in favor of Gorman. Fitzy feeds it back. Baldy to Larson. Larson's got pressure on him. Sends it around the boards. Kerr chips it back. Picked up by the Knights. And into the Knights bench it goes. Puck loose. Tritton feeds it back out to the blue line. Baldy back out to Tritton. Far wall. Shot off a body. Comes out. Kept in by Larson. Feeds it back out. Baldy high in the slot. Shot off a shin. Comes out to Tritton. Tritton cycles around. Feeds it out to Larson. Back out to Tritton. Shot Off the pads. Down to the far corner. Kerr looking for position, able to get a stick in there. Kerr feeds it back out to Baldy. Shot off the pads. Baldy, blue line. Got room to walk it up. Hook checked off his stick. And the Knights bring it back the other way. And a huge hit on Tritton as he was trying to field the puck in the air. As he makes his way to the bench. Face off in the neutral zone. Gorman no longer on the power play. Back to even strength, and that wraps up the first period. Kicking off the second period. Godino sends it down low. Goaltender sends it along the near boards. Fish. Creel. At forward, Rubino and Luong on D. And that'll be an icing. Faceoff comes out in favor of the Knights. Rubino picks off the pass, sends it out to Fish. Fish, near corner. Working with Godino back behind the net. Godino, far corner, chips it out to Luong. Shot goes wide of the net. Rubino working at the blue line, couldn't feed it back down low. Gorman sends it in, compliments of Luong. And the Knights try to bring it out along the near side, denied by Fish. Shot. Blocker save, shot from Kerr. Kerr picks up his stick, sends it through, another stick laying on the ice. Trent cycles back down low. Knights reverse it back. Creel gives a hit on the far corner. Knights chip it in. And puck up and out of play. Knights win the face-off, get a shot off at the face-off dot. Goes up and over. Get back out to the blue line. Knights send it back down low. Kerr sends it back behind the goal line. Chipped up, kept in play. Shot blocked. Loose in the paint, and Faircloth able to dive and cover. For a face-off coming up in the Gorman D zone. Fitzy, Kerr, Jennings, Trent, and Posner. Puck comes out in favor of the Knights. Shot off the face-off, loose out front. Trent brings it on back behind the net. Stretch pass out to Jennings, couldn't connect. That will be an icing, will come on back. Fish, Creel, Godino. Puck comes out, favor of the Knights, high in the slot, shot. And Faircloth with another save. Baldy and Larison on defense. Puck loose, picked up by Baldy. Sent off the boards, chipped up by Godino, still in play. Battling at the blue line. Knights almost come away with it. Godino chips it off, takes a hit. Creel with a hit back behind the goal line. Godino poke checks it off, maintains possession, cycles through. Godino shot, short side. And the Knights come up with a save. Knights win the face-off in their D zone, send it around along the near side. Knights bring it back, make it in the zone. Luong, lone man back there, sends the shot wide. Tritton with a stick lift. Bonifazio chips it up, trying to hit Evan Davis. Could pick up the puck. Tritton blocks the pass, sends it through. And down low, Bonifazio on the press. Comes out, Evan Davis picks it up in the far corner. Drops it back, Bonifazio looking to send it in the center, no one there for Gorman. And cleared the other way. Knights on the forecheck. And Gorman able to get it clear. Knights need to tag up offsides. Rubino back behind the goal. Sent it across, chipped in by Tritton. And he will go for a change. And that will be an icing. And we'll come on back in the Knights D zone. And missing Klaus as well. My apologies. Haven't seen him since he got injured. Coming out of the last series. Shot loose out front. Follow-up shot by Jennings. And Gorman will go on the PK. Yeah, Klaus not on the ice either. Gorman down 4 players. As Posner heads to the box on a hooking call. PK coming up. Larison Baldy, Fitzy, and Jennings. Clearing attempt denied by the Knights. Out on the far corner, high in the slot. Shot off the skate and cleared by Gorman. Pass broken up off the skate of Jennings. Pass out on the far side. Fitzy sends them wide, forces a pass around the boards. Baldy closes it off in the near corner. Larison with a hit back behind the goal line. Loose puck picked up by Larison. 2-on-2 the other way. Larison and Fitzy. Larison brings it out wide. And a penalty coming up. In favor of Gorman. And the Knights will have a player head to the box. Knights number 9. Just under a minute, 4-on-4. Trent, Bedino, Baldy, and Larison. Loose out front. Knights clear. Baldy out to Larison, far side. Trent playing up as forward during the 4-on-4. Pass through the middle. Sent down low by the Knights. Baldy fighting for a position back behind the goal. As Larison makes his way to the bench, Trent walks it in. Hash marks, shot off the blocker and up into the netting. Pass goes out in favor of Gorman. Shot off the pads. Still 4-on-4. Another 13 seconds. Creel near wall. Drops it back. Rubino walks it up, sends it out far side or near side. Fish shot. And couldn't connect with the angle. Creel chips it back the other way. Gorman back to full strength and goes on the power play. About a minute remaining. Creel walks it in. Sends it out to Luong. Shot along the short side and covered in the paint. Fitzy, Jennings, Kerr, Rubino, and Luong. Bouncing puck, clears. Fitzy on the back check with Rubino. 42 seconds left. Fitzy's got a man on him. Powers through. Fitzy brings it back behind the net, coast to coast. Looking to feed to the point, and all goes off a skate. Rubino drops back to Fitzy. Jennings near wall. Makes his own. Poke checked off, and the Knights go to clear. Picked up by Fitzy at the blue line. Jennings far wall. He's got Baldy at the point. Drops back to Baldy. Larison near side. Back to full strength. Jennings off the center around the boards. Kerr brings back. Feeds it out. Baldy shot. Wide of the net. Out to Larison. Larison tries to shuffle down low. Knights pick that one up. Send it across. Picked up. Almost picked up by Jennings. Baldy to Bonifazio. To Evan Davis. Wires it in. Stretch pass picked up by Larison. Kept in play. Larison Walks it up. Shot. Loose out front. And blown dead. .20 remaining in the second period. Face-off coming up in the ninth. D-zone. Fish, Godino, Creel, Posner, and Trent. Fish wins it back. Creel hooked along the far wall. Knights pick it up. Send it around the near side. Posner closes it off. Creel chips it around back down low. And the Fish will head. Tripping is the call. Gorman goes on the PK. Fish in the box. Godino, Creel, Posner, and Trent. Knights win it back to the point. Near wall. Trent closes it off. Knights bring it back behind the net. Trent ties it up, sends around the boards, and cleared by Gorman. Knights back behind the net. Pass out to the far side. Godino on the back check. Knights maintain possession in the far corner. Sends it out on the far wall. Face-off dot. Down low. Couldn't field the pass. Sent around the boards. Out to the point. Blue line pass. Shot. Pass. Denied, and the shot denied by Faircloth. And the Knights make the zone again, walk it up. Posner with the stick. Pass couldn't connect. 1 minute left on the Gorman PK. Trent scoops up the loose puck at the hash marks. Dingles through, couldn't make it through the neutral zone. And cleared into the neutral zone by Gorman. Tipped by the Knights. Cleared the other way. Fitzy on the forward check. Comes away with it. Shot. Save Knights. As Fitzy picks up the loose puck in the neutral zone. And is able to win the foot race at the hash mark. 7:31 remaining in the first period. Gorman with 31 seconds left on the PK. Fitzy, Kerr, Rubino, Luong. Comes out, favor of Gorman. Rubino pinches up, chips it back down into the near corner. Kerr working up high. With Rubino, Fitzy with the poke check. Knights working in the near corner. Battle through, send it out to the point. Shot short side, no one there. 3 seconds left on the PK. Shot out to Rubino. Rubino chips it to the far wall. And Kerr brings it around, sends it out to Fitzy, chips it. Jennings in motion, couldn't hit it in with speed. Gorman's clearing attempt denied by the Knights. And eventually makes his way out. Knights will have to tag up. Rubino, miscommunication with Luong. Luong out to Rubino. Rubino out to Fitzy through the neutral zone. Shot. Sorry, pass through, trying to hit Fish in motion. And the Knights bring it back the other way. Puck cleared. Out to Larison. Larison sends it out to Fish. As he reloads, takes a hit and gets a shot off. Jennings. Jennings working in the far corner. Sends it out to Godino. Godino back to Baldy. Face-off dot shot off a shin. Back out to Godino. Godino gets tied up. Knights pick it up. Larson feeds it out to Creel. Shot. Loose and blown dead. Loose just outside the crease. Creel walked it in. Couldn't finish the shot. About 5:40 remaining in the second period. Gorman trailing by 1. Fish, Creel, Godino, Larson, and Baldy. Knights pick up the puck from the faceoff. Chip through and around Larson. Larson on the back checks. Comes out to Creel. Pass broken up, bouncing puck. Larson sends it across. Godino. Godino opts to lob it down low. Creel's going to get there first for Gorman. Larson working up as a forward. And the Knights pick it up on the far wall. Bouncing puck comes out in favor of the Knights. Shot goes wide. Puck loose along the near wall. Picked up by the Knights. Pass broken up. Baldy feeds it through to Creel. Couldn't handle the pass. Knights pick it up at the blue line. Chip it back the other direction to Baldy. Bouncing pass the other way. Creel battling outside the Knights bench. Pass goes wide. Stretch pass the other direction. Save, Faircloth. Second shot goes wide. Puck kept in play by the Knights. Lobbed back down low. Evan Davis sends it around the boards. Tritton couldn't clear. Knights regroup. Send back out. Evan Davis picks it up. Chips it back behind the net. Out of reach of Posner. Baldy sends it across. Bonifazio. Bonifazio on the forecheck. Knights send it down low. Faircloth picks it up, chips it off the boards. And the Knights send it back behind the goal line. Trent there for Gorman. 3.5 minutes left in the second. And Bonifazio lobs it down low. Goaltender fields that one, sends it out to the far corner. Chipped back down low by Jennings. Tritton walks it up. Shot. Saved by the Knights. Posner, another shot tipped out front, goes wide. Trent working in the near corner, chips it up to himself. Backhand shot along the near side, denied by the Knights. Jennings picks it up at the blue line, shovels it in, gives it back in, and Kerr sends it up to the blue line to regroup. And looks like number 17 for the Knights will head to the box. Gorman goes on the power play. Fish, Creel, Jennings Godino and Trent. It comes out to Jennings, fed back out to the point. Godino walks along the blue line, back out to Jennings near wall. Loose out front, Knights pick it up. Kept in by Jennings. Drops back to Godino. Sends it around the boards. Fish, far wall. Back out to the point, Trent. Trent high in the slot, shot. And save. Have the Knights goaltender, 1:28 remaining in the Gorman power play. Puck loose at the feet, off the face-off. Knights unable to clear. And they eventually do. Send it out fair cloth there for Gorman. Sorry, Laskoska in now for Gorman. Trent cycles back. Looking for some space. Poke checked off the stick. Drop back to Creel. Godino. Broken up by the Knights. Scooped up by Jennings in the neutral zone. Chips down low. Creel on the forecheck. Jennings in the near corner. Sends it out. Far side. Trent. Back out to Fish. Jennings chip. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Godino. Back behind the net. Trying to feed Creel. Couldn't connect. And Trent able to keep it in. Walks it up. Shot. Off the shoulder, goes wide. The Knights pick it up along the near wall, and they will lob it in. Had a 3-on-1 opportunity there. Opt to go for a change instead. 8 seconds left on the Gorman Peak power play. Stretch pass out to Larison. Larison drops back. Kerr feeds Godino. Tipped. Sorry, shot tip goes wide. And puck makes its way through the neutral zone. Baldy looking for a lane, walks it in. Back up to Fitzy. Fitzy in motion at the faceoff dot, brings it back by goal. Actually scored. Fitzy short side over the shoulder. That is not the first time we've seen that from him. As Fitzy ties up the game, and we lose the scoreboard. Oh, they're going to go ahead and play. About 10 seconds left. If they remember where they left off, and they did. Knights trying to clear it out of their zone. Chip it off the glass. Huge hit by Kerr. And Gorman, I believe, will start out with a penalty kill. infraction, no penalty. Oh, nope, there is a penalty. Looks like Kerr will head to the box for 2 minutes. I believe the call was roughing at the end of the second period. Gorman will start out in the PK. Creel, Fitzy, Trent, and Rubino. Knights bringing the zone. Shot up and over the net. Laskoska net for Gorman. Knights feed it out to the point. Pass almost broken up by Creel. Far side, face-off dot, shot, save. And Fitzy brings it back the other way. Fitzy fresh off a goal shot, pad save. And he'll send it back down out into Gorman territory. Larison out to Baldy. Baldy will send it around the boards, kill some extra time. And Larison clears it the other way. Puck brought back the other way by the Knights, broken up by Fish. The Knights recover and send it down low. Knights going for a change, and Gorman takes advantage and sends it for the clear. Stretch pass into the neutral zone. Godino with a stick lift, almost comes away with it. Godino battles through, poke checks off. Fish almost has an opportunity the other way. Knights recover, looking to send it down back behind the net, and Godino will opt to send that airborne out into the near corner, picked up by the goaltender. Stretch pass out the other way, no one there. And that will be an icing. Nine seconds left on the Gorman PK. Jennings, Bonifazio, Luong, Posner. Sorry, Evan Davis. Evan Davis in for the faceoff. Knights pick that one up. 4 seconds left. And Gorman's back to full strength. Kerr heads to the bench. And Tritton in for Gorman. Pass comes out to Tritton. Tritton walks it in. Battling for position on the puck. Loose underneath him, and the Knights pick it up, chip it off the glass, off the body of Luong. Evan Davis, shot. Pad save, sent wide. Tritton gives a hit along the far boards. Gorman sends it back into the far corner. And Knights send it in. We'll go for a partial change. Luong with a hit. And Trent along the near side. He's got Tritton with him. Chips it out, picked off. On its way to Fish, stretch pass the other way. Trent battles through, save. Skoska, and Gorman's gonna go on the PK. As Trent heads to the box. $13.50 remaining in the third, tying game 2-2. Shots on goal 25-20 in favor of Gorman as Gorman goes on the PK. Creel, Godino, Rubino, and Larison. Puck comes out to Rubino. Wires it around the boards. Had enough to send it and clear. Goaltender will come out to field it near corner. Knights bring it in. Poke checked off by Larison. Picked up by Rubino, and Godino working back behind the goal line. Knights pick it up in the near corner. feed the point, near side. Blue line pass kept in play. Back down to the faceoff dot, no one there. Shot off the shoulder, goes wide. Back out to the blue line. Creel gives a hit. Far side point. Godino with a stick lift. Rubino is able to get possession on the puck. And Larison scoops it up, chips it off to Godino, who sends it airborne to clear. Bouncing puck, didn't get enough on it. And Knights will go for a change. 49 seconds left. Rubino sends it across. Picked up by the Knights in the neutral zone as they regroup. Larison breaks up the pass. Creel working along the far wall, the near wall with Larison. Knights walk it up along the goal line. Blue line pass. Send it to the far side. Shot. Saves Laskoska. Near point. Knights shoot. Tip goes wide off skate. Fitzy and Creel. Shot off the shin of Gorman. I believe that was Creel as he heads to the bench to go for a change. And Gorman back to full strength. And that's an offsides by the Knights. Evan Davis in for the faceoff. Comes out to Bonifazio. Bonifazio sends it back. Posner chips it across. Picked up at the blue line. Tritton forces the puck to the near wall. Battle for position. He's got Bonifazio. Sends that up to Evan Davis. Shot. Glove save. Evan Davis, Tritton, Bonifazio. Baldy and Posner. And Bonifazio with a shot off the faceoff. Comes out to Posner. Posner shot loose out front. Cleared, denied by Baldy. Drops it back to Bonifazio. Shot stuffed. Comes out to Baldy. Baldy keeps it in. Shot, glove save. D-zone face-off for the Knights. Jennings comes in for the puck drop. Comes out to Gorman. Long, couldn't close that one off. And his foot race the other way. Rubino chips it across. Knights lost a stick. Fitzy dangles through. Drops it back to Jennings. Couldn't get the shot off. Kerr wires it back in. Still in the zone. Poke checked up. Out to Fitzy. Couldn't get the shot off. Sends it through, trying to hit Jennings and clears the zone. Rubino chips it up. Kerr sends it in. And Gorman goes on the forecheck. Goaltender trying to clear. Comes out. Kerr, goal! And Kerr puts Gorman up by one. As the goaltender was trying to handle it behind the net. .10:14 remaining. Fish in for the faceoff. Comes out in favor of the Knights. Knights chip it in. As Godino gives a hit outside the Gorman bench, pucks it around the boards. Creel. Fish dangles through and couldn't make it into the zone before he got tied up. Trent chips it and out of play. Knights win the face-off in the neutral zone. Puck comes out. Creel couldn't get possession, had a stick lift. And the Knights bring it back the other way. Could have been offsides. Creel picks up the loose puck, battles through. Opposite lob it down low. Loose, Creel shot off the stick, goes up, doesn't clear. Pass broken up by Trent, recovered by the Knights. Godino gets the stick in there from behind. Trent closes opposition. Godino to Creel. Creel's got fish, couldn't connect the pass. And the Knights chip it in, we'll go for a change. Posner drops it back to Trent. Knights pick it up in the neutral zone. Jennings there to field it, and Trent lobs back the other way. Goaltender will come out, no icing. Pass out to the near faceoff dot. Off the gloves of the Knights, and Gorman will tag up. And Kerr goes on the forecheck. Fitzy along the near side. Off the skate, Posner. Knights recover as they chip it down low. Stick lift by Gorman, and they couldn't get the shot off. Baldy brings it in. Might have been offsides there. Baldy feeds it back out down to the near corner. Shot short side. Fitzy going for another one off the side of the net. Fitzy feeds it through. Bonifazio couldn't get the shot off. Kept in. And that one they will say is offsides. For a stoppage of play, Gorman leading by 1. 7:58 remaining in the third period. Shots on goal 29-23. Favor of the Gales. Neutral zone face-off coming up. Evan Davis, Bonifazio, Tritton, Luong, and Rubino. Puck comes out. Evan Davis sends it around the boards. Tritton gets there first, pokes it further around. Picked up by Evan Davis. Sends it through, trying to hit Bonifazio. Luong keeps it down low. Bonifazio. He's got 2 on him, sends it around the boards. Evan Davis trying to get there first, closes it off. Pass out to the blue line. Luong fields that one. Shot goes wide of the net. Evan Davis in the far corner. Pins it. Chips it back down low. Bonifazio working in the near corner, far corner. Sends it through the crease. No one there. Luong shot. Glove save. 7:08 remaining in the third. Fish in for the faceoff, wins it back out to Larison. Godino chips down low. Fish with a stick lift, maintains possession, sends it out along the near wall to Godino. Godino battles through. Out to the point, Trent, shot. Off a body, goes up and over, still in play. Trent at the point, shot. Loose up front. And he caught it behind his back. Leave it to you to decide if it was across the line or not. No goal is what they're calling it. .636 remaining. Fish, Godino, Creel, Larison, Trent. Puck comes out in favor of the Knights, send it around the boards. Larison there for Gorman. Chips it, keeps it. And the Knights pick it up at the blue line. Back the other way on the forecheck. Pass across, denied by Trent. Trent pass out to Creel, gets tied up. Chipped out to Fish. 2-on-1 the other way, back checking Knights. Sent through the hash marks. No one there for Gorman. Larson sends it across. Larson on the forecheck. Bouncing puck. Comes out to Fish. Fish fights for position. Gets tied up. And the Knights pick it up at the hash mark. Stretch pass. Out to Baldy. Couldn't field it. Knights walk it up. Shot loose out front and cleared by Gorman. Still in the zone. Fitzy comes in. Breaks it through out to Jennings. 2-on-2 the other way. Jennings shot through the crease, looking for an angle to Fitzy. Pad save goes wide. Loose at the hash marks, and Knights there to recover. Bouncing puck. Almost a high stick on Gorman. Posner forces the shot from a sharp angle. Kerr clears it out to Fitzy. Fitzy, 1-on-2, takes a hit at his feet. Then around the boards, the other side. Posner closes it off on the far wall. Picked up by Kerr. Shot goes wide. And Fitzy threw a man into the near corner, and that will earn him a trip to the penalty box. .4:57 remaining. Gorman will go on the PK, trailing by 1. PK unit for Gorman. Comes out for the face-off. Fish, Godino, Luong, Trent. Fish in for the face-off. Knights win it back to the near corner. Near point, shot, tipped, goes wide. Luong stuffs the shot, comes out to Godino, and he will lob it down the other way. Sent around, no one there for the Knights. Fish gets in there to close it off. Loose at his feet in the corner. Knights shot, loose up front, shot, save. Laskaska comes up, 2 critical saves. Keep Gorman up by 1. Knights win the face-off out to the near point. Face-off dot, shot, off body, goes wide, and cleared. Creel comes in, picks off the loose puck. And the Knights try to recover in the neutral zone. Creel chips it up to himself, just out of reach, and the Knights will pick it up at the hash marks and work on their next zone entry. Bring it along the far side. Kerr gives a hit. Luong's clearing attempt goes off a body. Luong gets a second shot, and he will set it down as the goaltender comes out to field it. Creel working up high, pass along the near boards, chipped out to Larson. Larson couldn't get the clear. Knights walk it up. Shot and covered by Laskaska. About 27 seconds remaining in the Gorman PK. Another D-zone face-off coming up. Larson, Kerr, Creel, and Baldy. Puck comes out in favor of Larson, and he will send it airborne. Creel staying aggressive. Goaltender sends it around. Creel picks it off, and he'll have to pin it along the boards. And Gorman back to full strength. Shot, pad save, Laskaska. Puck comes out to Larson, chips off the board, still in the end play. Cleared out to Tritton on the far side. Bouncing puck, gloved down by the Knights, and they will cycle it back through. shot goes wide after a save from Laskoska. Jennings out to Fitzy. Fitzy walks up. He's got Tritton with him. And save by the Knights goaltender. .223 remaining. Fish, Godino, Creel, Trent, Posner. Knights win the puck off the face-off. Offsides. Neutral zone face-off coming up. 2:13 remaining. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Posner gets tied up in the far corner. Posner sends it around the boards. Creel beats the man there. Picked up by the Knights. Brought back down low. Back out to the point. Kept in play. Blue line pass, shot. And score. And the Knights tie it up. Heavy traffic outside the net. And enough to take the goaltender's eyes. 1:44 remaining in the third period. Tie game, 3-3. Shots on goal, 31-34, favor of Gorman. Knights win the puck off the face-off. Fish on the forecheck. Knights drop it back. Clearing attempt comes out to Trent. Chips it out. Fish wires it down low. Brought out along the near wall. Trent chips it back down into the near corner. Fish fighting for position. Knights chip it back behind their own net. Back to the near side. Pass through, chipped, and that will not have enough. No icing. As Trent is flushed out from behind the net. Puck off the skate. Shot up and over, still in play. Laskoska prevents the pass from the other side. Knights maintain possession. Shot loose at the feet. Cleared out to Godino. Godino chips it off the glass and goes in the forecheck the other way. Knights cycle it back along the near wall. Gorman has to squeeze in a change. Shot off the glove, goes wide. And they'll clear back a little too far, all the way back out to their goal line. Kerr working up high. Puck sent across out to Luong. Breaks up the pass, still in the zone. Luong scoops up the loose puck. Feeds out to Fitzy. Fitzy and Jennings bring it through. Fitzy dangles. Shot just left of the net. Luong shot. Loose. And cleared back behind the net. And that'll wrap up the third. And we'll see how they want to handle this now. And no shootouts, so that'll wrap it up for the first matchup between the two teams here in the Valley. D1 Gales and 16U AAA Junior Golden Knights. I believe there will be another game on Gorman Senior Night in March, so stay tuned for that. And then Gorman has President's Day tournament coming up here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Those games will be live here as well. As a reminder, Gorman has their first round of playoffs in California this weekend, taking on Orange Lutheran. Single game elimination. Game will take place Saturday the 7th at, I believe, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That game will be on CIH Media, and then will be uploaded later on this channel. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.